That's a AC30 Custom Classic. It's the first Vox that was made in China. I use Chinese stuff because it's cheap. It's got the basic speakers. You can buy that amp for $600, probably $400 on eBay. You look at the knob, that microphone is worth more than the amp. That's an old real SM57. I got it drooped like that because we didn't have a stand. It's such a good mic, it don't make a damn where you put it. Now if you look up here in the top of the knobs, I usually run my volume, master volume, halfway wide open. The tone or cut, which is the presence, the crispness of the power amp. I run that, I don't know, about 2 o'clock or so. I don't use tremolo, don't use reverb. The top boost channel, which is why I like the Custom Classic, it has a normal and boost channel, and you combine them with the link. I run both of them. I run that around 2, that volume at 2, brilliance on, volume on 2, treble on around, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock. The bass, if you're running any higher than that, you really can't tell it. And the effects loop, you see these 2 cables in the back. And what you can't see is I'm running it at 22 watts on 44 mic input. In other words, it's a Marshall basically without it blowing your face off. It will go to 33 watts, even though it says AC30, it's a 22 watt to 33 watt amp. This pedal here is my DL4 Line 6. It's the one pedal I've had for 5 years and it's never given me any crap. I come out of that into the effects loop of that amp. That's the only thing going in the amp effects loop wise. My guitar goes into the pedal board, into the tuner, into a 78 phase 90. I had to bore a hole in the bottom of it and hook it to the battery connectors because I don't like the way the new ones sound. That pedal's, you figure it up, it's 34 years old. Sounds like God. Then I got this Austin Gold Rocktron overdrive pedal because tube screamers are great, but they break down because they're these crummy little pedals. This has the good old motorcycle boot stomper that you can't break, like that one. And then I use a blues driver for the real Van Halen-ish kind of sound. That's all I use. That's it. And it's an SKB pedal board. It's not the immaculate $300 or $400 one. It's the $250 one. And I've played that all over the place. Now, getting into the guitar, this is a one-of-a-kind, custom built. I picked out, it's a Warmoth body. It weighed 3 pounds, 12 ounces. The neck is the Warmoth Pro neck. You can adjust it. You don't have to use the truss rod. In here, you can just adjust it there. I had the headstock painted white with the phrase Ivory Angel. I actually signed it and I put number 1 because this is the first guitar I ever built. Has staggered Spursel tuners except for my E string, and in the back they all lock except for this contraption here. This is a drop D. When I'm playing the guitar and all of a sudden I want to go to D, I'll reach up and instantly it drops it to D. Push it back, it goes back to E. You fine tune it with this little screw thing here. The bone, I'm getting real detailed. A lot of people won't tell you their deals. That is basically come off a thousands of year old woolly mammoth bone and it's been bleached. It resonates real well with the neck. It is a maple neck without the fender skunk stripe. If you look real close, you can see it's actually a maple fretboard as if it was a rosewood fretboard. I can actually take that off and change it to a rosewood. But I like maple because it's faster. And if you look at it, it's got real pretty wood. It's got 3 coats of nitrocellulose lacquer on the neck, 6 on the body. It's just your basic Bakelite pick guard, basic 500K on tone pot with a 1958 Les Paul capacitor, so when I roll it back, it's muddy, and right there it's bright. Any further, it don't do nothing else. 500K pot, right here it's normal, bright. This is the back pickup, which is my model pickup, Seymour Duncan Robin Woodard HSTL3 pickup. This is 14K ohms in the bridge position. 7.9 K ohms gives you that Buck Owens, Brad Paisley sound. Then it goes back to 14 K ohm with my secret weapon invented by Dave Crawford from Hasson and Crawford String Instruments that gives this the illusion of a neck pickup. All Fender Telecasters, when you hit that neck pickup, you can't get that nice harmonic chime at the 5th fret because the pickup don't work right. So screw that. I'm taking away 6 magnets that I don't need, and now I've got that much more power. The bridge is a Wilkerson's bridge. It looks like old school, but you can actually adjust it instead of stuck with these 6 barrels straight, and you have to pray to God you stay in tune. It's no good like that. The guitar, like I said, is real light. You can see all the wood grains in the body. It is Mary Kay white. It's been enough. When I first bought it, it was white as a t-shirt, but it's been around cigarette smoke and drugs and whores and alcohol, and it gives it character. It has my son's name right here, Wyatt Cameron Woodard, with his birthday, 4/14/04. Can you see it?
Turn it back the other way. There you go, right there.
Wyatt Cameron Woodard, 4/14/04 is my son's birthday. That's the serial number for the body. My name, Robin Cameron Woodard, with 5374, serial number for the neck. There is a chip inside here and a chip inside the neck. So if anybody has a wise ass idea of stealing my guitar, guess what? They run the wand over it, they find it, they arrest you, I give my guitar back. Just like that. The whole thing about it, I don't care how many pedals you got, what kind of amps you run, makes no difference. The big thing about playing is in your hands. I got like Cabbage Patch Kid hands. I'm not Steve Vai hands. I mean, it's all I do to palm a softball. I have small baby hands. But I use the big frets on the guitar to get around real good. I actually have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fret stretch. If my little hand can get a 7 fret stretch, anybody can get a 7 or more fret stretch. This helps you out with floating across the neck. But the trick to the sound is not the equipment. It's in your hands. I use the pick, which I use Dunlop 2mm, that's right, 2mm picks. I can break a window with that. I don't like nothing to give when I'm playing. I like it, you can hear it pushing against the strings. When I do this, I get more tone. The harder them strings get hit, the more tone you're going to achieve. The other thing I use is my fingernails. I let them grow a certain amount of length. I used to actually would put acrylic on top of them because I played so much. And I still play a lot, but I guess over time they've adjusted to the way I play. I do a lot of rolls, like my favorite one to slows. Using the pick and your fingers gives you that ability to go from, and then all of a sudden you're instantly able to finger pick and that at the same time, like the old. That kind of stuff. This pinky, I just hand cut the nail on it. All it does, I am a pick, middle, ring finger player. My pinky finger does 2 things: volume knob, treble, changing gears. That's all it does. And that's the way I do it. I always, when I'm trying to get the guitar to have a body, kind of a, I don't know how good you can hear that, but the ZZ Top, tush, little. So if you can hear that, which I'm pretty sure you can, the amps just make it louder and more pronounced. Anything you hear me play, I can sound just like that with this guitar without being plugged up. The finger tapping, like any of that stuff. If you do it right, you can do it without being plugged up. The amplifier is just something, it's a PA for your guitar. These are just effects for your guitar. I use a phase and a delay for my colored effects, like adding colors, LSD. And my overdrive I use to knock the amp in the next week. I run the amp hot enough to distort on its own. The pedals I use to get the distortion out of the amp here, the pedals knock it up way high so I can hit one note until I'm tired of it. And then I back my volume knob down. Sometimes people hear me play and they're like, man, what are you using for distortion? None of my pedals will be on. I'll just have the amp cranked and I'm playing rhythm. And then I'll jack it up and the amp will automatically get hotter and it distorts on its own. If the amp don't distort on its own, and I don't mean channel switching amps, I mean the amp has to distort power tube wise and preamp wise. Preamp will give you that death metal sound. Power amp with a little bit of preamp will give you that nice Eric Clapton, Cream, Audley Free, John Custer, Warren Haynes, that nice warm subtle sound that you actually can control. But that's pretty much it. And my acoustic guitar uses an HD28V Martin that we'll get into that later. But that's pretty much it. I have several guitars and they're all basically, this is my guitar and they're all basically like this. So you got any questions or anything, come to the website, ask the question, I answer to the best of my ability. Really, you can play as good as you want to, it's up to you. I'm Robin Woodard. Thanks a lot. Good night, man.